Hello everyone, I'm Corey and I play Grandpa.
I'm Nathan and I play Billy. Together we bring you the Millennial Senior.
Well, things have been a little difficult lately for us, between work and me being without internet for about a week. We decided to do something a little different today. We decided to sit down by a nice fire and give you a little bit of a behind-the-scenes look at some of the videos we've done so far. For example, this little stack of cards here
Is our state-of-the-art tripod.
Whenever the camera's facing the other way, we sit it on top of this for the level shots. Right now it's sitting on a bedpost. It's a one-room operation, but we do what we can. The whole thing mostly started because, well,
We were bored.
yeah. And idle hands are the devil's workshop, so God forbid us from being bored.
You know,
And what else am I going to do with a wall full of games except talk about them?
you could play them.
Well, we might as well start with the video that started it all. Sonic CD. And I remember getting you involved with it was a little difficult too, but that was the pilot episode, so we didn't worry too much about scheduling.
Except you had to go put a date in that announcement trailer.
Yeah. For those of you who don't follow any of the news, what had happened was I made the announcement trailer for January 15th, and then the hard drive, no, not the hard drive, the power supply in my computer pretty much killed itself. So I couldn't do much with it for about a week. Let's start with you being Billy.
This guy didn't want to adjust my voice any, so I had to do it myself, and it sounded horrible for me to be a little kid off screen.
Yeah, mostly I didn't trust myself to do the voice, so I asked Nathan if he wanted to join in. So, yeah, I think you made mention after shooting that you were worried toward the end of it your voice went back to normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, one of the things in the video I found out after uploading it and messing with it was I edited it with everything on a flat volume setting, not checking the individuals. So it wound up being that a few scenes had a good bit of them actually had the volume overtake what I was speaking. And that was a common complaint I had. One of the unscripted moments we had was that I choked back a burp so it didn't catch on the microphone. And that's why in the middle of the, well, maybe not the middle, but at one point in time in the video you hear me say something along the lines of, you know, don't call me an old fart, Billy. And you giggled. Yeah. If one of us cracks a smile or you start hearing somebody giggle in the videos, that usually means that spot was ad-libbed or unscripted. Because the writing process for the script, and yes, we do use a script because it helps keep the flow going.
Helps them mostly.
Right. We use a script, but a lot of what we put down in the script is what we have said to each other during the process of getting the game footage together. So, and it makes us laugh before we write it, and usually it takes us a few takes to get the thing done on the video itself, so we don't show ourselves cracking up. But I do leave the ad-libs in that do make us laugh. So
We figure if it makes us laugh, it may make you laugh, so.
right.
Yeah, it kind of worries me that you know me well enough to script how we're gonna actually get on.
Would you be mad if I said I was just scripting an annoying kid?
Little.
Then I won't say that. I mean, looking back at the Sonic CD review, I think a big problem I had with it was I am a reviewer. I've had things published in a local newspaper for video game reviews. The problem was putting into video form. I was acting more like it was a walkthrough than a review. So going back, if I redid the video, it'd probably be cut down to 10 minutes, as around the 10-minute mark most of the other videos have. The jokes would probably stay the same, but superfluous stuff like, this level has conveyor belts. Yeah, that might be taken out. Now, one thing I did forget to put in the review, though, is the CD that you see me hold up. I originally had in the script before the computer screwed up and I lost it. I had to rewrite it. Was the game disc, even though it won't work on the computer anymore as a game, I can still take it to my car, stick it in the CD player, and listen to the soundtrack. Now, after the Sonic CD review was done, it took me about, 3 or 4 months?
Something like that.
Yeah, it might have been 5 to get to the next one. I was mostly worrying about how to proceed with the rest of the videos, whether or not I was going to follow up with them, do them anymore, things like that. But then I got in the idea that the next one I would do would be a music game. My favorite music game, actually, Frequency and Amplitude. I generally consider them the same game. But I wanted to do something special to my father for Father's Day, so I decided he liked guitars and music. I was going to do a music review and dedicate that to him. So that's what made me do the Frequency and Amplitude video next. And originally, the entire idea of the announcer in it came because I wanted to do the gag of the scrolling, songs that you would usually see on the commercials.
Yeah, infomercials.
Yeah, and I tried getting you in as Billy on it, but...
Well, I wasn't going to do Billy. I was going to do my best imitation of the Sengoku Driver. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I remember. But you did have a much better announcer voice than me, but...
That's because I've been listening to Imgo do it. Oh, yeah. For a while.
Yeah, the big problem is both of us have jobs. And that's why half the videos have Billy and half of them don't, because I try to... even with the 2-week development period for the videos, we still can't find time.
Yeah, it comes down to time or money. One of us getting time off or both of us getting time off or having the gas to get here. Things like that.
Yeah. Another reason I wanted to have Billy in the video is because I wanted to show off... Well, I had to show off the multiplayer aspect of Frequency and Amplitude. But without Billy, well, you probably don't even have to watch closely to notice that I'm doing the multiplayer stuff with one person. The Exterminator gag at the end, I didn't really have written until I was playing through the game and noticed that there was that Exterminator song by Acrobatic in Frequency. So what I did was I went into the remixer and had only the vocal track play so I could pick out the lyrics of Acrobat the Exterminator and Watch Me Come Running.
And now the video that's gotten us the most views, you dirty, dirty little boys.
Rumble Roses XX. The game that...
The game that he spent the most time playing.
Yeah. That's the most embarrassing thing to say about that game. That's the one that took me the longest to get all the footage for. It was very difficult to keep that game tasteful, because we're trying to do a family show for the most part. No cussing. I mean, that's where the swear jar comes from. Yeah, there's a few spots in the video though that were actually either entirely ad-libbed at that moment or brought up on the spot behind the scenes.
Like putting the case on display.
Right. That was Nathan's idea entirely. And I have no idea why I didn't think of it beforehand. I had the table set up for the soapbox gag, and then Nathan said, "Well, we might as well put this up here too." Another ad-lib where you catch us laughing is the moment where I mentioned, "Well, let's review the movie as mature adults," and then
yeah, they still don't know what mature means.
Yeah, you piped in with it. Well, next is the video that was all Nathan's idea, but despite all the trouble I went through contacting you about it, you couldn't show up for it.
I was gonna say, I had to work.
Yeah, that'll happen a lot with us. The swear jar was planned for a while, and I'm glad I got the chance to actually use it. Because Nathan was working, I had to step in to do Little Billy.
Who I insist we call Jimmy.
Yeah, but we'll start calling him Jimmy in future videos. But he's somebody that we kind of also planned because we need... The reason we had you grow up in the Rumble Roses video is mostly because we needed you to be mature for a mature game. And also because you didn't like doing the voice. The introduction of Little Billy or Jimmy, whatever we wind up calling him later, is... it allows us to do the three-person back and forth where we have Grandpa, Billy, and the young child, which will come into play for certain videos. The one scene where I'm jumping around with Bronan the Brobarian is to try to show you that if I landed on the rotors of the helicopter, it would kill you. I don't know why I kept the scene in there if it didn't work. I don't know why. Yeah, and the song you hear during the end credits, the Broforce thing, it was actually just me standing across from a pit of the binoculars guy who would scream, Broforce! And that took me 10 minutes of recording because off in the background you're hearing bombs, guns explode. It was quiet for a while and then something that was staying still cracked. And the Who's On First routine about oh, that's not PC, Billy, was somewhat difficult for me because while my headphones are on, I have actually got a recording of myself reading the lines in my headset as Little Billy, but not doing the lines as Grandpa. Also, there's some news about Broforce, and this is actually what I mentioned in the video. There's a double... Early access is a double-bladed sword. You get it nice and early, but if you review it early, things come in later that you miss because they didn't exist.
Well, apparently, they partnered with the guys behind the Expendables movies and made a short little game called The Expendables, where you go through and you play Broforce with the Expendables characters. And it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
It's pretty fun.
Yeah, it was actually kind of interesting to see that happen.
And the fact that it's free helps.
The last video that we released was Guitaru Man. And I mean, I know that proportionally a good chunk of these are like music and rhythm games. I don't have that many, I swear.
A lot of these are niche games that nobody but you has heard of.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the point of bringing up Guitaru Man, though. It was a good fun game, but still quirky, so it was something interesting that I could talk about. One of the scrap jokes we had in there was originally when we do the Space Guitars Don't Work That Way joke, you were supposed to use a neuralizer.
Yeah, but I'm not that big into Men in Black, so I don't have a neuralizer. Like
yeah, but you mentioned you had the sonic screwdriver on hand, so what happened was when you had time again, you came over for like 5 minutes 2 days later in the evening, which if you look closely, you'll see the lighting difference versus the rest of the video, and use the sonic screwdriver to do the mind wipe thing. Apparently, Nathan tells me he had a discussion about difficulty in games with somebody on the internet, and he actually got yelled at or something.
Well, there's this idea going around that difficult games are for quote-unquote real gamers, and just not something I subscribe to, being a gamer as long as I've been one. Games can be difficult, they can not be difficult, they can be fun, they can be not as fun, and it's all games.
Yeah.
Games appeal to different people, and you shouldn't chastise people based on your definition of what makes a good game.
Yeah, and generally speaking, unless they have like cheating computer algorithms in it, even the most difficult games have a pattern that you can learn to them and get used to. So, I mean, like Super Meat Boy. Well, you just learn when to push jump. You die a lot, but each time's an inch closer to the end. So. But speaking of difficulty, originally I expected you to make it all the way to the cathedral level, which is where I started having trouble with the game.
You expected me to do that?
Yeah. I mean, when we were recording, he was playing the first level.
How'd your expectations work out?
Yeah. And then what happened was you lost, and I suggested you try playing again, but you didn't want to or something, so I just picked up and went through the rest of it that way. With the the jawsome joke where I slap you in the back of the head. It wasn't your idea to do that joke. It was your idea, though, to hit you for real.
Well, yeah. Because I'm not that good at selling, especially something I can't see.
Yeah.
Like, I can work a punch and you throw me at my face, because I can kind of move my head back.
You watch enough wrestling.
Huh?
You watch enough wrestling.
Right, you pick up a couple of things.
Right. But, yeah, so he insisted I hit him for real, and I wanted to make sure that scene showed that I was stopping in the middle of doing the level to reach over and give you that slap, which is why you hear the rumble pack going on, or dual shock, whatever they want to call it. But yeah, because we wanted that evidence there, that scene took 7 takes. That's how everything's gone with the videos. So, this forced hiatus, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, that works. Came about because Corey's Xbox died for the last time.
Yeah, I was in the middle. I was a week into recording footage for an Xbox review. The Xbox 360 got the red ring of death.
Again.
Yeah, so they won't fix it this time. I gotta find money. Which I do have now. It's going to be replaced soon, so you know I'm not asking for anything. Don't worry. But yeah, we spent a week trying to figure out what game to do after that. And then, as we start setting up for another review, which was going to be something like this, but different, we plan on doing stories about tech support because I was still sore about the Xbox thing. We scrapped that idea and we went toward this behind-the-scenes idea. We started setting up for it, and then anybody who reads the Facebook feed will say that on Saturday I mentioned, oh, there's a thunderstorm, so we might have to scrap one of our jokes. Well, the thunderstorm took out the modem. And it took until Tuesday for Verizon to fix it. 3 hours after I get internet, somebody... And they're okay, only a few scrapes, no broken bones or anything. This guy trying to move to a town nearby fell asleep at the wheel at night and crashed into the telephone pole out front, snapping it in half. So...
You just can't win for trying, can you?
No. Like I told a friend of mine, that God doesn't just have a sense of humor. Sometimes God's a troll. Yeah, so the next morning, Comcast is at our neighbor's getting it fixed already. We call Verizon. Verizon says, we'll fix it tomorrow. So it wasn't until Wednesday evening that we got our internet back. No, Thursday morning.
Right.
So, yeah. Well, don't worry. From now on, we know what we're doing. We've had our missteps. We've done our practice runs. We may not know exactly what we're doing anymore, but we don't
have a bloody clue what we're doing.
Well, we know we're going to try our best. So, we've been doing that, but from now on, come heck or high water, because no cussing for the kiddies. Come heck or high water, we will have a video up at least every 2 weeks, even if I've got to go dancing in front of the screen or something like that for 15 minutes. I mean, I got dancing games, I can do that. So, well, until next time, I'm Corey.
I'm Nathan.
And if you like what you've been seeing in the videos so far, like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. We could use all the help we can get with this mess.
Tell your enemies. We don't care. We'll take all the subscriptions we can get.
Tell your teachers, kids. Maybe they'll give you extra credit. I mean, heck, everybody else out there does the like and subscribe thing.
Bad form.
Yeah. Please subscribe! Yeah, it was very difficult to keep this game tasteful because it was a... I mean, we want to do the
That's all you.